Hi guys, my name is Abhishek Mangoli and welcome to my channel. I make videos on various topics of machine learning, artificial intelligence, statistics, optimization, parallel computing, algorithms, etc. In today's video, we will understand three important concepts which are used widely in data science, which are entropy, cross entropy, and KL divergence. We will try to understand what is the intuitive meaning of each term, try to calculate them experimentally, and also see where and how they are practically used. So let's get started. Today I will take you through this blog which is authored by me and titled as A New Tool to Your Toolkit Intro to KL Divergence. So let's get started. First of all, we will see what entropy is. Entropy is the amount of information gain. It can also be seen as the amount of disorder, uncertainty, surprise, or unpredictability associated with an event. So let's say there are two events where in the first event two strong teams are gonna have a soccer match between them, while in the other event one strong and weak team are relatively weak team are having a soccer match. In which uh, match do you think there is more uncertainty? Of course, when there are two strong teams are having a match, right? Because when two stronger teams are playing, anyone can win. There is more uncertainty. While on the other scenario, when relatively one team is weak than the other, there is more probability or chances of the strong team winning, hence the uncertainty is less. So entropy will be higher for the first scenario when two strong teams will be playing relatively compared to the other scenario when one team is relatively weak. Now let's see another example as well. Seeing today's weather, I have to predict tomorrow's weather. If today's weather is neither sunny or nor rainy, then I can say there is 50-50 chances of sunny or rainy. While on the other hand, if today it was raining whole day, then there is 75% chances, let's say, of raining tomorrow. Now, if I ask you, in which case do you think there is more uncertainty? Of course, in the first case, right? Because if there is 50-50 chances of raining, then anything can happen. It can rain or be sunny. While on the other hand, in the second scenario, I am more certain it will rain tomorrow. Let's see one more example. I have been provided with two coins. One is unbiased coin and other is biased coin. If I toss that coin, for the unbiased coin, the probability will be 50% either for head and 50 for tail. So anything can uh, be the possible outcome. While on the other scenario, when I am being provided with a biased coin, there is more certainty that the heads will come up, right? So similarly, the uncertainty is higher for the first case when there is equal probability of head and tail compared to the other one. Now, once we have seen the intuitive meaning of entropy and what we mean by unpredictability or uncertainty or randomness or information associated with the event, now let's see what the formula of entropy is and see whether it validates with our theoretical knowledge or not. That in the first case, entropy will be higher compared to the second case. Entropy, the formula of entropy denoted by H of P, where P our probability, actual probability, is summation of negative of probability into log of probability, where we sum over all the events. But the events are, in the case of coin toss, the events are head, the outcome which can be head or tail. Uh, let's take the same example. The entropy for the unbiased coin will be and probability of head multiplied by log of probability of head minus probability of tail multiplied by log of probability of tail, and which will be 1. And similarly for the biased coin, it will be negative of probability of head, which is 75.75 into log of probability of head minus probability of tail multiplied by log of probability of tail, which is 0.81. Clearly the entropy is less for the second case when there is less uncertainty compared to the case for first case of unbiased coin with equal probability of head and tail. Two important callouts that I want to make for entropy. which is first, entropy is always positive because it is a multiplication of probability and log of probability. Probability is a number between 0 and 1, and log of a probability, which will be log of any number between 0 to 1, will be negative, but this negative which is outside multiplies and makes it positive. So entropy is always greater than equal to 0. And secondly, when will be the entropy 0? Let's say the probability of the event is 1, which will be 1 into log of 1, which will be 0. The entropy will be 0. That is the minimum value of entropy when there is no uncertainty. We are completely sure that this event is gonna happen. And another important call out that I want to make is that entropy is used in many scenarios or problems in data science. One such practical example will be in case of decision trees where the splitting is made on the basis of entropy gain. There are other indices as well, like the Gini index, but another important metric is information gain, which is seen as the uncertainty associated with the parent node, and when the splitting happens, what is the uncertainty in the child node. What we will want for a good split in decision tree is that the uncertainty in the child is less compared to the uncertainty in the parent node. So it's calculated as entropy of parent minus entropy of child, and we want this value to be as higher as possible. So whichever split gives me highest value for that information gain, which is entropy of parent minus entropy of children, I will take or go with that split. Now once the entropy is clear, we will see what cross entropy is. Cross entropy, according to me, is the goodness of fit, that is the closeness of the predicted distribution to the actual one. Let's understand it. Let's say I have been provided with a biased coin with the probability of head being 75%, which is 0.75. Now I know that the probability of head is 75%, that is 0.75, but other people don't know. So I give it to two individuals. The first guy, he tossed the coin 100 times and he came to the conclusion, or his estimate for the biasness of the coin is 70%, that is probability of head being 70%, 0.7. While on the other hand, the other individual, he also conducted the same experiment where he tossed the coin 100 times and he got 72 heads. His estimate for the probability of head is 72%, that is 0.72. Now which one is more closer to the actual distribution? Clearly the second guy, or the case 2, right? So in this case, the cross entropy should be lower for second guy, which is case 2, compared to the case 1, which is the first guy. Another important observation to make here is that cross entropy will always be greater than equal to entropy, and closer I am to the actual distribution, my cross entropy will be smaller. And when I have predicted the actual distribution as it is, let's say I have estimated that the head's probability is 75%, which is 0.75, then my cross entropy will be equal to entropy. Otherwise, always the cross entropy will be more than entropy, and the best scenario, it could be equal to entropy. And when it's closer or equal to entropy, that's a better estimate of the actual distribution. Let's see what the formula of cross entropy is and validate our findings by calculating the results. The formula of cross entropy, which is given by or denoted by H of PQ, where P is the actual probability, while Q is the predicted probability. If you remember, the formula of entropy is H of P, where P is the actual probability. And here we also have a predicted probability, which is Q, and the formula is negative of summation of probability, there is the actual probability of the event multiplied by the estimated probability of the event. Let's calculate the cross entropy for the same example. In first case, the cross entropy will be actual probability of head, that is 0.75, multiplied by log of predicted probability, which is 0.70, minus actual probability of tail multiplied by log of predicted probability of tail, which is 30%, which is 0.30. It comes out to be 0.820. While in the case 2, the probability of head was estimated to be 0.72. We'll multiply negative of 0.75, which is the actual probability, multiplied by log of predicted probability 0.72 minus 0.25 in multiplied by log of predicted probability for tails 0.28, 0.814. If you see, the cross entropy for case 2 is lower than case 1, which should be the case because here in the second case cross entropy is more closer to the entropy, or we are more closer to the actual distribution. And I have also shown the case when I am able, let's say I am able to estimate the probability of head being 75%, which is 0.75, then my cross entropy will be same as entropy because my actual and predicted distributions are the same. Doubt or question that can arise in your mind is, in the formula we have both the actual probability and the predicted probability. So if we already know the actual probability, why do we need to predict it at all? So what happens is that in machine learning problem, when you are trying to fit a model to your data and your data is already labeled as positive and negative examples, what you would like your model is to generalize well for your data, and at the end you will check what is the cross entropy loss, that is for a positive label data how good the model is predicting it as positive, and for a negative label data how good the model is predicting it negatively. And this is popularly known as the cross entropy loss. If we see the Wikipedia page for cross entropy, first you will see the formula of calculating cross entropy, and if you go down you will see the cross entropy loss function, and they have given the example of logistic regression where you have Qi as the predicted value or predicted probability, which is also given by y hat. So Qi and y hat are the predicted probability, and the cross entropy loss, this is also known as log loss. Let's read it. Logistic regression typically optimizes the log loss of all the observations on which it is trained, which is same as optimizing the average cross entropy in the sample. We have n samples, so they take average cross entropy. This is 1 by n is for averaging the cross entropy, and this is the cross entropy formula. In case the sample is positively labeled, my cross entropy will be actual probability of that sample into log of predicted probability of that sample, and in case my sample is negatively labeled, it will be 1 minus y of n multiplied by log of 1 minus predicted probability of it being positive. So 1 minus yn will be predicted probability of it being negative. So this is the cross entropy loss, and average cross entropy loss because it's been averaged over n samples. That is the reason why we have both actual probability and predicted probability. We want it to generalize well for all the samples when we are training our machine learning model. Now that being clear, KL divergence is a piece of cake, believe me. Now going to KL divergence, what is KL divergence? It's simply the difference between the fitted and actual distribution. The fitted distribution means cross entropy and actual distribution means entropy. So it's the difference between cross entropy and entropy. HPQ, which is cross entropy, minus HPK, and this is how it's denoted. KL divergence, P, 2 parallel bars and Q. Now if I simplify this formula, if you remember, cross entropy is summation of actual probability multiplied by log of predicted probability, and entropy, there is a negative sign here, but negative will become positive, and when by using the uh, properties of logarithm we get. Now one thing that should be clear is what happens when I have predicted the distribution as the actual distribution, that for all the samples positively labeled I am saying positive, and all the samples negatively labeled I am saying negative. What will be the KL divergence? In that case my cross entropy will be equal to entropy and KL divergence will be 0. So minimum value KL divergence can take is 0, and maximum value when the cross entropy is much higher than entropy, that is my prediction is very bad. In that case the KL divergence will be high, that is I am diverging from the actual distribution. And if we see the same example of having a biased coin of had probability 75%, and I have to predict its biasness. So in the first case, when I predict its biasness to be 70%, that is 0.70, my KL divergence is 0.0088, which is the difference between cross entropy and entropy, and simplified using this formula. In the second case, when my predicted probability is 0.72, I am doing better, 0.0032, which is smaller than the first case. And when, if I am able to estimate that the coin biasness is with the probability of 0.75, that is the actual biasness, my formula gives 0.75 into log of Pi by Qi. Pi is also 7.75, Qi is also 0.75, and plus 0.25 into log of 0.25 by 0.25, which is the actual and estimated probability of tails. It comes out to be 0. That is, there is no difference between cross entropy and entropy, or there is no difference between the actual and the predicted distribution. So this is the conclusion where we understood what entropy, cross entropy and KL divergence are. We first understood them theoretically, intuitively, and then did some experiments and calculations, and also saw some of the practical examples. Like in the entropy, we saw how in trees, decision trees, the entropy concept is used for the splitting, and cross entropy, how that concept is used in machine learning model to calculate the log loss or average cross entropy loss. Hope you enjoyed this video, and please like this video so that the content reaches to maximum number of people, and to motivate me to create more and more such videos, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.